Peace, family. So I'm back with another one. Today what I want to do is I want to talk to my chosen ones about how you hold the power, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of us wasn't even taught to even understand, first of all, the concept and the structure of power, and then understanding that you have your own powers, you know, that we just kind of hand off and give away. You know what I mean? So when you think about power, right? First you have to think about the word pow. Any of us that was old school and watched Batman, any of the old TV shows and kind of cartoon animated little magazine, book, cartoon movies, like we all understand they used to use these words. Bam, pow, like black. Like they like to use these hard, impactful words that pack a lot of power. It got a lot of emphasis behind it, you know what I mean? And when I always process those images with like pow, and then just understanding the concept of power outside of, you know, their Google definition of it, it's like most of us adults, right, knows that you get responsibilities as you get older. So on the back end of responsibilities is power. So a lot of people talk about responsibilities, but they don't like to connect the other part of the recipe of power that comes with responsibilities. So we all understand that as an adult, I wouldn't give my car keys to my 7-year-old daughter and tell her to run to the store. You know what I'm saying? That's like, even if she did know how to drive, I still wouldn't do that. You know, we can say that's giving too much responsibility. That's giving too much responsibility and power. A lot of things that we do and we comprehend out here, we have to understand it's a recipe. They don't tell us the recipe, so then you can just use one word and then just kind of tweak it to your liking. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like how we use selfish. I don't even like using that fucking word no more because it got such a bad condensation on it. Like, even the people that's building in this space should already understand this a hola, wee thing. You know what I'm saying? You only be selfish to a degree to where you're protecting your energy, your spiritual realm space, your physical space, and the ones around you that you vibe with, you care about. You know what I mean? So understanding this whole power thing, right? Because you handing your power over on a regular basis, day to day, trust me. You are giving it over. Whether it's to the system, just, oh, I could have put my seatbelt on. You're giving away power, you know, just complying with someone who is not in your space. So the entity that you're listening to when they're not there isn't up the Most High, because the Most High don't give a fuck if you got that seatbelt on or not. The Most High is the protection. So while you feeling like, oh yeah, I need a seatbelt to be safe, the ones who really believe in the Most High, like, I'm already protected. So this seatbelt isn't gonna protect me no more than where I'm getting my real protection from. You know what I mean? And what brought me to the subject power today is it's just like, we deal with a lot of beings on our levels. You know, I don't care for going into the system and all of their names and things that they do. I like touching base on real life things that we can actually touch right now, today, tomorrow. You know what I mean? And we all communicate and engaging with beings right now, today, tomorrow. So a lot of us have beings who use the other playbook. Y'all know what I mean by other playbook, that witchy playbook. You know what I'm saying? And then we got the Most High playbook, whether you want to call it Bible, Quran, just spirituality, whatever you call it, in your part of the realm, it all connects hand to hand with me if you right there, you know what I'm saying? So I ain't tripping, it's all love. But we deal with beings who use the other playbook. And the other playbook understands control and power, you know? So this is where we always get hit at, and why it take us so long when we first start transitioning to a higher awareness and a higher ascension. Because it's like we realize, like, systematically it's easy for us to brush past our power being stripped away, because everybody's power being stripped away. But then when you go even in depth within there, then you realize you are getting your shit stripped away and you getting damaged in the process. That's when you become more alert and aware and be like, oh, I gave too much power away. I gave them too much access. I gave them too much pull. And giving someone that much power and them not having your best interests at heart is you giving someone else responsibility over your life. And that's on a deeper level, So on a much lower level, a shallower level, you could be having day-to-day conversations with people, And let's say it's people that you know in your previous past life, in your past time, 10 years ago, 5 years ago, 20 years ago. These beings will, and they have to try to communicate with you and engage with you the same way if they're using the wrong playbook, because their playbook is structured to strip you of your power and for them to take dominance and control. So it don't matter if it's a deep relationship or something shallow. That is the process that they have to go through. That's why it's a cycle. That's why it's all over the world. That's why we all can be having the same experiences, because it's everywhere. So clearly something has to be happening somewhere, and something has to be valid for all of us to be in the same space, being like, oh, we all having these same attacks happen to us. Of course, you got some people in the middle who are a little bit more manipulative, and they have been the attacker and not the victim, but they're making it come off as if they are. But once you understand, like, even with simple conversations, you're giving your power away. You know what I mean? I was talking to somebody, and I realized, like, using this as an example, if you use the unhealthy playbook and I use the healthy playbook to my highest, to the highest degree I possibly can, you know what I'm saying? I'm still in a Western society, so you already know it's some things that you're going to have to do that's on a percentage scale. You got to knock the compromise down a little bit. If I'm usually up here at 90%, I knock the compromise down to about 70, 60, but I will never go under 60 to 50%, you know what I mean? But you're going to have to wiggle some compromises, right? But I had a being, and I was telling them, like, when my daughter is playing Barbies, on the outside, it just looked like Barbies, right? And she'll ask me, hey, Dad, you want to come play Barbies with me? Me, naturally, it's like, nah, I don't play no Barbies, but it's my mini, so I'm like, maybe today I will, maybe today I won't. You know what I mean? So in her world, it's like, all right, Dad, well, if you come play Roblox, if you come play Barbies with me, I'll be able to engage and communicate with you more, because now you've jumped into my world. It's not about the Barbies, it's about me joining her spiritual realm. So now we got more to engage in and communicate about. But if the situation was different, and she was asking me if I want to play Barbies, and I'm like, nah, let's do this over here, and she starts ignoring me or doing other things, it's because she didn't want to leave her realm. She wanted me to join her realm. I didn't want to join her realm. I wanted her to join my realm. These are simple things that we can all comprehend on a more adultish level. You know what I mean? So, on an adultish level, if you a female and you getting with a man who's moving in the righteous path, and you know he's going to be a great leader, your ass need to be following, listening, feeling it, figuring out how you can join this man's world. Not figure out how you can look at his world, say you like it, you have your world, and then come over and like, yeah, but I need to pull you over here for this world to do this and do that. That's you can do those things, but if the system shut down, you have to understand your method isn't going to work, because this is the leader who you're going to have to follow. So this is what I mean by, like, how things get manipulated, twisted, and how you have to understand how this whole power dynamic works. You know what I mean? So when I could simplify what it meant to join someone else's spirit world, meaning join them in their thoughts and then versus them join me in mine, I realized if their space isn't healthier or more progressive than mine, I'm not joining yours. I'll meet you in the middle for some mediation, but I cannot join yours. That means that I have to stand solid in my power and knowing that the light that I'm walking is a lot more prosperous and fruitful, healthier fruitful than that one, because that shit be fruit, but it just don't be good fruit. You know what I mean? So that's what I mean by, like, you understanding you got to stand in your power. You have to understand power. It's a whole bunch of dynamics that come with this recipe that will help you in the long haul once you just start grasping it. And it's like, I was over here making beats. You start talking to me. I got a phone call and they talking to me about sports. If I ain't doing no FanDuel or running no numbers, I don't really give a damn about what the players is doing. So now you pulling me out of my space to where I'm at for me to join you in yours, and yours is not productive. But it is a space, it's just an unproductive space. I don't want to go there, so now, quote unquote, to society, I'm a dick because I don't want to join their spirit realm. I'm saying, hey, join this one. Or if it's other beings who processes like this or similars, it's like I'll jump in theirs. And I'll be like, hey, y'all can join us. But you got other beings who have a dumpster mentality versus the tree mentality. I don't want to go jump in the dumpster. You know what I mean? Like, I'd rather take the time to grow this tree opposed from looking for a quick apple or something I could find in that dumpster. You have to stop giving your power away. You have to understand that you do have power, even if you don't have all the power in the world, because clearly most of us don't. This ain't even my platform that I be posting on. So clearly, like, there is powers that's out here that's greater than us. But when we ride with the Most High, we already understand that we already taken care of and that we got the highest form of protection and power that you can get. Keep that in mind. Stop giving your power away. You giving your power away even when you have basic conversations and you're constantly wiggling around compromising. You don't always have to compromise in the middle of a conversation just to make someone else feel better or just to not create any friction. If it's friction, it's only friction because they're going to take it as friction. In your world, when you process it, you're not processing it as friction. You just know that, it might not be something that they agree with, so it could possibly be friction. But in your world, you're not saying, yeah, I'm about to punch them or knock them out with this hit right here. No, it's just a statement, trying to get some clarity or get the airways figured out. You know what I mean? But understanding your power is going to be huge, you know what I'm saying? And not giving it away and just freely giving it away, especially to beings and entities that don't deserve it. I used to give power away, and I don't have no problem with it. But my thing is, when I'm giving my power away, I want it to be used in a better direction. If I'm following somebody, I want them to lead me in a better direction. I followed my bro for a good portion of my life. For over 20 years of my life, it led me nowhere. As soon as I stopped following it as, I got more direction. You know what I mean? So that put me in a space to understand, all right, now I understand, all right, that was my own blood. He wasn't leading me in the right direction. So if your spiritual space isn't conducive or running concurrent with mine or similar, then it's going to be hard for me to fully jump in there, and I won't be able to give you that power. We'll be able to share certain things, but that won't be a pass-off. You know what I mean? But I ain't want to run it up too long. Tapping everything down below. Peace and love to the kings and queens.